It's so good. This will be our dinner tonight. It didn't take very long to make. Going to plug in an air fryer where the pressure cooker was and show you something fun. This is too heavy, so I'm going to just leave it. I personally cannot lift this. I'll leave it to my husband. And again, you don't have to have this equipment, but if you want the lifestyle to be sustainable, I think some of these tools can really help. Oh, this is heavy. There we go. So, for people that are uncertain about air fryer technology, don't want to spend $400 on a Bravo, there's a couple things you can do to see if you like air frying. One is to get this type of a unit. Like I said, I've seen these at hardware stores like Lowe's and Home Depot and a Walmart, not quite this big, for $39, a smaller size. The pressure cookers that they're making these days, the 8 quarts, come with air fryer technology now, so that the lid is like a crisp lid, so you can see if you like it. So the thing about air frying is, for people that actually just really won't eat vegetables, that hate vegetables, when you roast vegetables or when you air fry them, they make them literally magically delicious. Now, 20 years ago, when I weighed more than 50 pounds and was having Coke Slurpees for breakfast, I wouldn't eat any vegetables. And so having tips and tricks like using some balsamic vinegar or delicious seasonings or different cooking methods, they made a difference. Now I'm happy to eat, this is 1 pound of baby Brussels sprouts, and I'm happy to eat them plain now, but not so much when I started out. I got these Trader Joe's frozen, they're 99 cents a bag. In general, while I do prefer fresh vegetables, when it comes to Brussels sprouts, I prefer them frozen. Don't know why, just they're softer to me. I have TMJ and it's just easier to chew, and the baby ones are really great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and just put it in the basket of the air fryer. It's not very easy. So I'm going to put it on 20 minutes at 400. Oops, let's see, 20 minutes, 400. Alexa, set an alarm for 10 minutes.
Second timer, 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes,
Starting now.
I'm
You
going
want
to
to
just
name this timer?
Brussels sprouts.
Okay, I'll call it a Brussels sprouts timer. 10 minutes. Starting now.
All right. So it looks like that. Yes, I'm going to be able to make all the rest. But what I think I'll do is, because for the peanut butter paradise parfait, I'm going to make sure I make my own peanut butter. That's going to take 4 minutes because I'm doing 2 pounds, because again, I don't like to do small batches of anything. So while that is making the peanut butter, I'll come back over here and start the rice pudding. But I'm going to need you, Charles, to please come over here for just a minute. You can go that way, maybe. Oh, you can't go that way. Okay. So you can certainly buy peanut butter already made. I prefer it, if you're going to buy it already made, I prefer it where if the store, you kind of put it under the thing and it grinds it for you. It just tastes better. It's fresher. My husband eats a lot of nut butters, and it just was getting ridiculous, especially the almond butter. It was like $20 a jar. And so I got this Nutra milk machine, which makes delicious plant milks, and I use it to make the nut butters because it's very easy. Again, if you have a champion juicer, you probably can do this in a Vitamix. I'm guessing, I've never tried, but I love this machine for making nut butters. And all you do is you put your nuts in. This is a 1 pound bag of roasted but unsalted peanuts. What's cool about this is, I don't know what this is called, but it spins it. So you don't have to do that or come back. Just have to make sure it's on the right way. Yep. And then I'm going to put it on butter. And again, if I was doing 1 pound, it would take 2 minutes. But since I'm doing 2, it's going to take 4 minutes. And again, you can buy already made, preferably a no sugar, no oil, no salt brand. And then I press start. So while we're waiting for the peanut butter for our parfait, I'm going to start the other recipe, which is a really delicious one. And it's called apple pie rice pudding. So this uses leftover rice, or if you wanted to cook rice special for it, you certainly could. But as I mentioned, we had Thai food last night, a version of Thai food. So I cooked up a big batch of brown rice, organic rice. I use lumber, and those that are worried about the arsenic, you can always rinse it or even wash it first. And I put aside the amount of this recipe, 4 cups. What I love about rice pudding is it can be hot, cold, or at room temperature. It can be on breakfast. It can be a dessert. Now, this is not super sweet like the pièce de résistance dessert. This is a lower fat dessert, but it's really delicious. I'm using golden raisins for a couple of reasons. One, I think they're sweeter than purple raisins. I think they're prettier because you don't see them, and so you get like a little burst of sweetness in every bite. To me, they taste better. And I've got my spices, which is apple pie spice, which is a blend that you can get at the regular store or just make your own out of cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves. A little bit of cardamom and vanilla powder. And I'm putting this in my small pressure cooker. And then I have my liquid. And this container is just because I needed to measure it out. So your favorite plant milk, I'm using almond milk. And you could make this on the stove, you would just have to cook it. And the only thing else that has to go in here, and this only takes 5 minutes in the pressure cooker, are apples. So I'm using an apple called the envy apple, just because it's the envy of all apples. It's, to me, the sweetest, best apple. You should see the peanut butter would probably be ready in 2 minutes, but I like it to be as creamy as possible so that when I blend it. So I'm just going to again use one of these little tools. You've probably seen them. They come in either 8 slices or 16. These are pretty big apples. And then I've got this other tool I like from Bed Bath & Beyond. You're seeing this, right? It's really cool because it makes like just perfect cubes every time. So whether it's zucchini or onion, I love this tool because it's like perfect. The Breville food processor, which I'm going to be using, has a dicing tool like this, but I've never learned how to use it. So if anybody lives near Sacramento and knows how to use that tool, come over and teach me and I'll make you dinner. What's cool about this tool is it's got measuring on the side. So if you need to know how many cups, this is 3 cups. So, yeah, that's it. Now, this is not going to be a sickly sweet dessert. There's no dates in it. The only thing that's in it that has some sweetness is raisins, which you could leave out. I know not everybody likes raisins. So if you're looking for like a traditional sweet dessert, you'll probably like the other one better. But on July 6th, I'll be off shoots. Okay, do you want to just show them the peanut butter? You can walk over. We're going to show you how quickly it made this beautiful peanut butter. It can do it with almond butter. It can make any kind of butter, any kind of nut butter. It just, if you are somebody that uses a lot of nut butters, it pays for itself after a while because it just makes it so creamy. It's just beautiful. So we're going to use this for our recipe in a bit. And then the leftovers my husband will use for his lunches. So I'm going to put another apple in. I surely won't mind if there's an apple left over. These are huge. Yeah. So quick, I don't think it's going through. There we go. This comes with different size grapes, so it can be really small apples too, if you prefer. You know, I've done this with pears, and instead of using apple pie spice, I use a little bit of cardamom, and it's really good. It's great if you can use leftover rice, but let's say you don't have any leftover rice, you want to make this right now. You can buy frozen organic rice, quinoa too, in packages that each one makes 2 cups. You microwave it for 3 minutes. They have it, well, they have it at Mike Whaley's, they have it at Whole Foods, Sprouts, Trader Joe's, Safeway. And you would just take 2 packages and do it that way. So that's kind of cool. I think it's probably enough. And this is only going to cook for 5 minutes. And this will thicken as it cools. You could cook it on the stove. It's just going to take probably 20, 30 minutes, or in a slow cooker. But, you know, slow cookers, they're great in a way, but you really have to plan ahead with them, whereas with pressure cookers, you don't. So you can see that this 3-quart is kind of a cool size because it really can do a lot and it doesn't take up a lot of room. So I'm just going to put it in right here, like I did for the marinara sauce. And I'm just going to set it for 5 minutes. There we go. All right. Got one recipe left, but this is the showstopper. So we always save the best for last. I started teaching cooking February 26th in the year 2000 on Pico Boulevard in Santa Monica at the Dick and Jane Cook Vegetarian Cooking School, founded by Ryan Flegel, who now runs retreats in South America. He gave me my first break. So thank you, Ryan. We always remember the people that gave us our first chance. My first speaking chance was given to me by John Dougal. And I remember I was nervous. And David Spain, who was the executive chef of the oldest vegetarian restaurant in California, Following the Heart, said to me, if you give them a good dessert, they'll forgive everything. So I'm not going to give you a good dessert. I'm going to give you a great dessert. This dessert has been the star of many parties, picnics, and potlucks, and an exclusive recipe in my interactive cooking class. And now it is my gift to the world. It's Peanut Butter Paradise Parfait. So let me find my trifle bowl.